You need more info on Ren? I'm sorry to waste your time, but I don't have anything for you.
I see. You're so cold, Mama.
Hey, I'm over here.
Hey, Mama. What's with the pizza, fish, and chips?
People used to call me that on the internet all the time. Guess it's stuck.
Pizza, fish, and chips. Ah, I see. Piece of fucking shit. This, however, appears to be a simple Italian pizza with fish and french fries.
Care to watch some riveting videos with balls and holes?
Sorry, I don't like golf.
Hey Date, you know what I say when I turn into a drunk devil?
Dev Ale.
I find it calming.
Why is that?
Don't ask me.
Well, I could use a little help down there, if you know what I mean.
I do not know what she means. Perhaps you should take her up on her offer.
Absolutely not.
You know about Renju and the Kumakura gang, right?
Yeah, I know. I heard it from his own mouth right here.
Do they have anything to do with the talent scandal at Lemniscate?
Maybe now they do, since Renju is the president of Lemniscate. But even before that, Renju and the Kumakuras go way back. All the way back to high school.
Hey, Date. Have you ever seen a dead body? You're a policeman. I don't know what department, but I assume you aren't handing out traffic tickets. So, how about it?
What about you?
Me? Well, yeah. Not just one. Countless bodies. When I was in high school, I had a pretty crazy job. You know the Kumakura gang? I was hooked up to one of their phone fraud scams. I just had to go collect the money from drop points and give it to the Kumakuras. It was an easy job. Eventually, I became friends with the higher-ups. They started taking me with them on jobs.
What jobs?
The target was always an elderly person from the country with no family. Elderly folk who owned a lot of land, you know? They live every day in loneliness and desperation. You just have to be nice to them. That's all it takes. Guys would get to know the old people and they would set up an adoption process. After that, you just have to get them really drunk, throw them in the tub full of hot water, and they pass. Just like that. Heart attack, brain hemorrhage, or they simply go to sleep and drown. The police almost never investigated. It always looked natural, like they died of old age. So the adopted gang members would inherit the land. Then we sell it and make massive profits. I watched a lot of people get killed like that. And I've seen journalists get killed for getting too close to the truth. So I... Why am I telling you all this? Are you going to arrest me?
You didn't do it yourself, right?
No, I was always the lookout. But still... Date,
Oh, Falco?
You know him?
I know him as a famous assassin in the underworld. Just rumors, though, nothing specific.
What kind of rumors?
He's good. 100% success rate, no evidence. He was a world-class killer.
Did you ever meet him?
Nope. I don't even know what he looks like.
Any other info?
I know he's connected to the Kumakuras somehow.
Them again.
That's about it. I don't have anything else for you. Sorry I'm not much help.
No, don't worry about it.
Can you come back again tonight? There's a regular here who is good friends with Ren. They should be here tonight. If you ask him, he might have some information for you.
Tonight?
Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
I apologize for yesterday. I arrived uninvited.
No, I'm grateful. Thanks to you, Mizuki has her voice back.
No, I didn't do anything.
I've been wondering about that picture.
Iris drew it when she was 12.
That's you on the left and Iris in the middle, correct?
Yes,
And who's on the right?
the man I was dating at the time. It was only for 3 months, but... I met him about 6 years ago. Have you been to the Ikume Shrine in the Minato district? I was praying there one day, and I heard a voice. Well, more like a groan. Behind the shrine, I saw a man sitting on the ground. He was bleeding badly from his stomach. I took out my phone to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my wrist, and he held me, and then he kissed me. I was shocked, but when I stared into his eyes, then I heard footsteps. And then a bunch of men yelling. They were looking for him. When the voices and footsteps faded, he let me go. Don't call an ambulance, and don't call the cops. I knew he had to be a criminal, so I took him to an underground clinic I knew.
You took him to a mob doctor?
Renju's friend. I only met him once. Even though we had our first kiss seconds after meeting each other, it took a long time before I got to see him again. The first time we held hands was when we watched a horror movie together. The first time I took his arm was when we went to a haunted house in an amusement park. But I wasn't the one who grabbed him. A zombie jumped out and scared us, and he clung onto my arm. He had that cute side to him, and I was falling in love. Our second kiss was in the car. It's cliché, I know, but we drove around at night, looking at all the lights. We parked our car near a warehouse and kissed. I don't think we ever said I love you, but we both knew. We were getting closer and closer. I introduced him to Iris about a month after I first met him. Iris never had a father figure in her life before. She warmed up to him immediately and treated him like a real dad. From then on, it was always the three of us together. We would go to the beach, to the river, the zoo, the amusement park. Going to barbecues with another person was a new experience for me and Iris. Everything felt so fresh. Every day was so exciting. Oh, sorry. You asked about the picture. He wanted to make okonomiyaki one day. He was working with the hot plate. It was ridiculous. He was trying to flip one, and it flew up in the air and landed right on my head. Iris saw the whole thing and laughed and laughed. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in a long time. I was having so much fun that I put an okonomiyaki on their heads, too. Plop, plop. I added the bonito flakes and mayo and sauce. At this point, there was no going back. Eggs flew, flour going everywhere. The room was not a pretty sight. After our battle, we laughed like crazy. We were rolling around on the floor. So Iris decided to draw it. It's nostalgic. But those days didn't last. 6 years ago, in November, a man with a gun broke into our house. Fortunately, Iris wasn't home at the time. But my boyfriend was. That's why the gunman came. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him, and he would never stop. He pulled the trigger. I tried to protect him. The bullet hit me, but the police arrived. They were both arrested and incarcerated.
Why was he after your boyfriend?
Before he met me, he committed some terrible crime. I don't know the details, but it was awful. So he became a target for underworld criminals. I don't know exactly why, but I know that he betrayed them in some way.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
I had heard that that incident was a random break-in gone wrong.
Oh. That's not true. I lied about it at the time because of Mizuki. Mizuki is Iris's friend. If she found out, Iris would find out too. I didn't want Iris to know.
Know what?
That I was dating a criminal. He was her father figure. Iris looked up to him. If she found out about his past...
Date, a riddle. A man-eating alligator lives in a river. There are no bridges or boats. How do you cross?
Well, let's see. You jump across?
Wrong. The solution is simple. You just swim across.
But what about the man-eating alligator?
He's at a convention out of town. He isn't in the river.
Today's a holiday. I suppose there's never a day off for a detective. Oh, but you aren't a detective, right?
Technically, yes. But I still deal with crime.
I see. Today is a holiday.
You forgot too, didn't you?
Did something happen to him? You asked me that yesterday. Right from the hospital? I'm sorry. I have no idea. I've put Iris through so much. I was 19 and single when she was born. People didn't take kindly to that. But Iris was such a fighter. She always protected me. I remember, one time at the nursery, some of the other mothers were talking about me. Iris ran up to them and said, "Don't talk about my mommy!" I'm supposed to be the mother, but it's Iris who's always protecting me. They died when I was 17. I was an orphan, and my relatives lived far away. They might have taken me in, but I was already in my second to last year of high school. It wasn't a good idea for me to move that late. So I decided to stay here, by myself.
And take care of Iris.
Yes, all alone. But Renju would help sometimes. It was always just me and her. Vacations, barbecues, zoos, amusement parks. Just me and her. Oh, that reminds me. When Iris was 5, there was a children's theater show in Bloom Park. It was called Milky Moon. It was about girls as magical space rangers and such. She loved singing and dancing, even as a kid. Whenever she heard music, her body would start moving. It was a quirk of hers. And she did it at the show, too. Toward the end, when all the Milky Moon girls were dancing to the ending song, Iris climbed up onto the stage and danced with them. I tried to stop her, of course. I grabbed her arm and tried to get her to sit, but before I knew it, she was up there, dancing. And everyone was so excited. Even I was dancing by the end of it. When it was over, she had the biggest smile on her face. "Mama, you're a good dancer." That's the kind of girl she was. Whenever she sees someone playing music on the street, she'll run up and join them, right then and there. Music at the train station, the crosswalk beeping. Even at convenience stores, when their little chime played, she would start dancing. It almost got her into trouble once. She was on the jungle gym and a truck drove by. It was playing loud music out the windows. She climbed up to the top and started dancing. But she lost her balance and fell. She fractured her leg pretty badly. It was on a Sunday, and it was hard to find an open emergency care. I was carrying her on my back, running and running through town. I could still hear her crying. Will I still be able to dance, Mommy? Can I still dance? She cried and cried into my shoulder. It was the only time she ever cried so much. No, that's not true. There was one other time. Six years ago, I was the victim of a shooting. After the surgery, Iris came in running, and she was sobbing.
Mommy, don't die! Don't die! Please don't die, Mommy! Don't die!
I swore to myself then that I would protect her, no matter what. Iris is everything to me. More important than my own life.
Date, we can't spend time reminiscing. We have to get moving.
Yeah, let's go.